Good morning, students. Today, continuing with the same chapter, that is consumer equilibrium, we will study cardinal utility approach, where we are measuring the satisfaction in terms of utils, that is in numbers. In cardinal utility approach, we have two cases, single commodity case and two commodity case. We are going to study first single commodity case. Now, before going to the consumer equilibrium in single commodity case, let's understand what is consumer equilibrium. Equilibrium is simply defined as the position of rest, that is where the consumer should stop. And consumer equilibrium is a situation, it is a situation of position of rest where consumer attains maximum satisfaction with limited income. He has a limited income. Within that limited income, whenever at whatever point where he attains the maximum satisfaction, that is referred to as consumer equilibrium point. Now, in single commodity case, consumer equilibrium is attained where consumer attains maximum satisfaction on consumption of a commodity and spending his entire income on one commodity. He has the entire income and that entire income is spent only on one commodity, and then where he attains the maximum satisfaction, that point will be referred to as the consumer equilibrium point under single commodity case. The condition for the equilibrium to be achieved under single commodity case in cardinal utility analysis is the point where marginal utility in terms of money is equal to price of the commodity. Now, we have done earlier that your utility is measured in terms of utils. So, we will be requiring to convert that marginal utility in utils to marginal utility in terms of money. How are we going to convert it? MU in terms of money is equal to MU in utils upon per rupee marginal utility. Now, what is per rupee marginal utility? Per rupee marginal utility is extra utility or additional utility on paying extra rupee, on spending an extra rupee. That is referred to as per rupee marginal utility. Then, let's understand this with an example. Let's say we are consuming ice cream. The price of ice cream is rupees 10. Per rupee marginal utility is 4 utils. That is, on spending 1 rupee, we are getting 4 utils satisfaction. Then, when we are consuming 1 unit of ice cream, the price is 10 rupees. Marginal utility in terms of utils is 80 utils. So, MU in terms of money will be 80 divided by 4, that is 20 rupees. On second unit of consumption of ice cream, the price remaining constant are due to application of law of DMU, our marginal utility will fall from 80 to say 60 utils. Then the marginal utility in terms of money will be 15 rupees. In the third unit of consumption, marginal utility has further fallen to 40 utils and in terms of money 10 rupees. In the next two consumption units of 4 and 5, MU in utils has fallen to 20 and 0 utils, and in terms of money, MU has become 5 and 0 rupees respectively. On finding out the difference between MUX and price, we get In the first unit of consumption, we have 10 rupees surplus. That is, a consumer has to spend 10 rupees because the price is 10, but he is getting the satisfaction of 20 rupees. He is getting a surplus satisfaction of 10 rupees. In the second unit of consumption, where he has to pay rupees 10 as a price, but he is getting the satisfaction of 15 rupees. So he is having a surplus of 5 rupees satisfaction. On the third unit of consumption of ice cream, he has to pay 10 rupees, and the satisfaction which he is getting is also 10 rupees. That means it is a point of consumer equilibrium where MUX is equal to PX. In the fourth and fifth unit of consumption of ice cream, the consumer is getting the satisfaction of 5 rupees, whereas he has to pay 10 rupees at the fourth level of unit of consumption. So he is having less satisfaction than what he has to pay. In the fifth unit, the price he has to pay is 10 rupees, whereas his satisfaction is 0, and thus he has negative satisfaction. In the first 2 units of consumption, his satisfaction is higher than price. Then in the third unit, his satisfaction is equivalent to price. So it is the consumer equilibrium point where MU in terms of money is equal to price of the commodity, that is ice cream here. And in the fourth and fifth unit of consumption of ice cream, the satisfaction is less than price of the ice cream. On seeing the curve, you can easily identify the point of intersection of price line and marginal utility in terms of money line. That point will be referred to as consumer equilibrium, where MUX is equal to PX. The point at fifth level of consumption of ice cream is the point of satiety, because MU here is equal to 0. And the point where MU is equal to 0 is known as the point of satiety. Now, apart from equilibrium condition, we have a disequilibrium conditions too. Consumer is said to be in equilibrium where MUX is equal to PX. That is, where marginal utility in terms of money is equal to price of the commodity. Now, when this is not equal, all those conditions will be referred to as disequilibrium condition. The first disequilibrium condition here is when MUX is more than PX. Let's go back to the example, that is to the schedule. In this, the first 2 units of consumption of ice cream. Here, the marginal utility was the satisfaction level was higher than the price what the consumer is paying. He has to pay 10 rupees, whereas at the first unit of consumption, the satisfaction which he is deriving is 20 rupees. So he is in the 10 rupees surplus of satisfaction. In the second unit of consumption of ice cream, where he has to pay 10 rupees, there he is getting the satisfaction of 15 rupees. He is still having the surplus of 5 rupees satisfaction. That is, MU here is higher than price of the commodity. Now, when your satisfaction is higher than the price what you have to pay, you are going to keep on continuing to buy the commodity. You will keep on consuming the commodity. And therefore, when MUX is higher than PX, a consumer will continue consuming ice cream. He will keep on continuing consuming the ice cream till MUX becomes equal to PX. As he will continue consuming, his satisfaction level will keep on falling due to application of law of diminishing marginal utility. The second disequilibrium condition is where MUX is less than PX. It is a condition at the fourth and fifth level of consumption of ice cream. At the fourth level of unit of consumption, he has to pay 10 rupees, whereas he is getting the satisfaction of 5 rupees. His price is higher than satisfaction. In the fifth level of consumption, he has to pay 10 rupees and he is not getting any satisfaction, that is MU is 0. So here in these two consumption units, the satisfaction level is less than price what he has to pay. Now in this condition, the consumer will stop or reduce its consumption of ice cream because the satisfaction which he is deriving is much lesser than what he has to pay. And therefore, he will stop or reduce its consumption of ice cream to the extent that equilibrium is attained and MUX becomes equal to price of the commodity.